And welcome in to Oakland, California for Week 8 action in the 2024 Western Ultimate League season. The Bay Area Falcons taking on the Arizona Sidewinders in what could be a championship weekend clincher. I'm Jenna Weiner, joined by Lawrence McKendall for one more game. Lawrence, the Falcons have been fantastic at home so far this season. 18-10 win in Week 2 over Seattle Tempest, and then an 18-11 win the last time out over San Diego Super Bloom. If they can make it 3 straight, they will be in to championship weekend.
You're absolutely right, and if you want a compelling reason to show up today, this is a reason. Both teams need to win a game to get in the playoffs. For the Falcons, the setting's beautiful. The fans are in the stands, excited to go. This is an exciting game situation.
Should be great, and yeah, just to set the stage for folks, with San Diego's win San Diego's lost to the Falcons last time out, that put the Falcons at 2-1, and while they do have 2 road games in the final weekend, they have the opportunity to just seal it now and not have to worry about it. Arizona, meanwhile, 2 very close losses to San Diego, and are going to have to hope that the Falcons lose out. They have to win on the road, and they have to win at home next week in the final weekend of the season.
So, on that note, I was talking to Coach Melissa about Arizona has an amazing roster and a lot of firepower. What's happening? And she mentioned that she did some root cause analysis, which you rarely hear when you talk about ultimate frisbee, but some root cause analysis about what's happening. They do really well early in the game, but a lot of times throws are going long, and what she really found out was basically our conditioning is down. We really need to adjust our deep throws. And the other thing is, go out, go run, go throw, get your stamina up so we really can get our receivers out there to receive those big pulls. But right now, we're going to see if everything comes together. They've got a great lineup. Now's the time for it to come together.
Definitely. The only problem they'll have to deal with is this Falcons defense, which again has only given up 10 points against Seattle, 11 points against San Diego. Just been incredible, albeit both games at home. But hey, here we are in Oakland, California, Fremont High School for this matchup. So it should be a good one, and see how much pressure the Bay can put on the incredible talent from Arizona. Teams getting introduced now. So let's talk about some of the key players. Home team, they are bringing back a lot of the same folks that have been successful so far. And from last game, no Han Chen against San Diego. Chen back for the Bay Area. And so it should make for a very potent Falcons team that has seen contributions from up and down their roster. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see more of the same tonight.
Yeah, to your point, you made an observation a game and 2 games ago that the stat sheet for the Falcons is quite spread out. There's no 1 or 2 players that dominate, which is great. But to come back to Han Chen, she was absent. The defense still rolled. This is a key part that when you have a handler of Han Chen's quality, you see that spreads the disc. You can go deep and create her own highlights, but she can also stir the drink, get the disc in space, and move it down the field. But the last observation, the defense. Arizona is trying to put the pieces together. They've got to come up against the Falcons' defense. They're solid. They run up points. They do breaks all the time, and that's been the difference maker for all the teams. So this is a very formidable defense, the Falcons, and I'm curious to see if they can continue this run.
And going up against that Falcons defense will be the Sidewinders' offensive firepower, led in large part by LP Aragon, who last time out set a league record for throwing yards, 551 throwing yards with 5 assists. Just an incredible offensive talent in the Arizona backfield, along with Chip Chang. And they're also going to have plenty of opportunities downfield. Cody Lippincott back available for Arizona. So there are going to be plenty of options. Helen Eifer, Kez Gazelle, also some of the downfield options for the Sidewinders. So plenty of opportunities for the Arizona offense if they can get it going. here in Oakland. And in field conditions wise, a little breezy, a little upwind, downwind. I had the great fortune of being down on the field earlier for a showcase game, the Rising Stars Showcase, which I appreciated as someone who
you have a souvenir too, right?
A little souvenir, yeah. Little turf burn, but yeah, so it was a great opportunity, and definitely was feeling the wind, and those players will have to contend with it as we did for the Rising Stars Showcase game. Shout out to my American Barbecue teammate Delilah. Really fun representing our club teams alongside a bunch of outstanding high school players and a number of other up-and-coming club players as well.
Very good. So it is swirly. I was down there, and that may impact the field, but these are very talented players, and so I hope that does not factor in, but it's something you need to be a little bit cognizant as the disc is thrown on the field.
And just a reminder for folks, I mean, it is week 8 of the 2024 season, but in case you need the rules refresher, 7-second stall for quarters, possession rules at the end of quarters, so that the team with possession at the end of the quarter, every single quarter, gets to maintain possession until a turnover or a score, or as we found out in our first game here of the season in week 2, a timeout can also end possession if it reaches past the allotted time for the quarter. So much of the same if you've been following along with the fantastic Western Ultimate League season. It's been a lot of fun so far, Lawrence. This season overall, we've obviously had the pleasure of being in the booth for both of the Falcons' home games so far, which have both been pretty big blowouts, but that's been the exception rather than the norm in this 2024 season. So many close games, and earlier today, hopefully you caught the action between Utah and Seattle. Utah going on the road, beating Tempest, and maintaining a chance to make championship weekend in the final weekend of the season against Colorado. Parity has been the name of the game in the WL this season. It has been incredible to watch.
No, very much parity. So to your point, this has been so fun. It's nice to see the Falcons handle their business, but all these teams come in, they're warming up, they're exciting, they're playing at a high level, and it's so fun to be a witness to this league. It's a testament to the talents on the field and for the league's growth in general.
And teams are getting set to play here, and Falcons will start on defense in dark, starting on the right side of the field. So the Arizona offense will have a chance to score and hold downwind on the opening point as Margot Donahue puts the disc into play to start us off tonight. Center of the field, there's Aragon with the initial pass to Gazelle. Near sideline up to Lippincott. Continue throw, just reeled in. Sidewinders flowing well so far. Maxfield swings wide. Inside throw, blocked.
Oh. Arizona looks so smooth. But once again, Falcons has something to say about that. The defense.
Was Elsa Winslow coming and grabbing that block.
As you can tell, the Falcons have a green light to go.
And Donahue, far sideline, finds Lily Stepanitis. In the small spaces, Molly Munson, marked by Aragon, far sideline. And Vicky Chen just able to hold on to it. And Falcons too much in the small spaces.
Oh, so close.
Aragon with the defense on Munson.
Sidewinders returning the favor.
Aragon to Chip Chang. As expected, those two will be the focal points of the Sidewinders offense. Here's sideline. Gazelle, away throw, not going to be there. for Carly Steiner. And a couple of turns for Arizona and a turn back for the Falcons. Players potentially getting settled in a bit. I know from earlier that throwing that downwind throw just dropped the disc, and that contributed to the Sidewinders turnover. That's a drop from Winslow that gives this back to Arizona. Aragon to pick up center of the field.
Let's see if we get some red zone with their red zone offense. Oh.
Aragon trying to find Chang cutting across, but just too far.
Early game nerves, little miscues.
And a big poach block. And that was Maxfield. Arizona doorstep. And Aragon to Maxfield. Maxfield with the bookends as teammates are throwing up. As the Sidewinders do hold to take initial 1-0 lead.
That was very interesting. There was a couple miscues, but what you found is with Arizona, they're definitely into their flow. They're getting good cuts and they're sharing the disc down the field. They're in flow. But what's interesting, when you get down to the red zone, those last 3 to 5 yards just can be as if you're in the middle of the field. Things tighten up, so you want to be calm, be almost zen red zone, and oh so close. Really good D on both. But as things calm down, everyone gets back to their flow, those red zone scores are going to come up.
And just an incredible flying block from Maxfield. Maxfield has been known for her blocks time and again, and showed it there in the short field to earn it back for Arizona. Falcons with some break chances, but the drop and the missed tight spaces on the red zone opportunity might be rude by the Falcons, but their offense will get their first chance out on the field. Pull lands near sideline. And there's Han Chen centering the pass from Chu. Far side of the field. Imanishi to Chen. To Manamaru. And quick, easy enough to Suji. Clean hold for the Bay Area as they tie it back up at 1-1.
Falcons in flow. Beautiful. Punctuated by Allison Suji. A dynamic cutter.
And just clinical offense from the Bay Area. Finding the underneath throws and then the immediate dish to Chen, who found Maru, who found Suji. And Arizona's defense just not quite able to keep up and apply enough pressure. And hey, a hold each way. That's a fine way to start the game so far. But if you're the Falcons coaching staff, probably perfectly happy that you got the initial clean hold in the books. Now see if your defense can take opportunity of the opportunities.
So as you can tell where the wind's blowing, it tends to push it from right to left.
Big floaty pull goes out of bounds. Aragon walks over to pick it up for Arizona. Starting in a vertical stack about midfield for the Sidewinders.
Big deep break.
Far side high throw reeled in by Steiner. Aragon. And another diving grab. Lippincott near sideline, resets to Aragon. Gazelle, far sideline. You can already see why Aragon racks up those throwing yards as the centerpiece of the offense. Incredible concentration by Steiner. Aragon, around throw. Lippincott.
Oh, big.
Nearly.
Flying lessons. Just a little outside. It was beautiful flow.
A nice offense from both teams so far. Sidewinders working in the half-field spaces. And Lippincott, who a while back now, the 2021 Winter Cup, made a Sports Center. And
all right.
Incredible grab by Stepanidis on the far sideline. It's McQuaid underneath. Munson crossfield to Eliza Pugh.
QB1, nice
High
play.
still count, makes it work. Floaty throw. Stepanidis, too tall.
Can't teach height.
Works for Stepanidis. Low inside throw.
Winslow on the door. Great grab by Winslow.
And good adjustment. That's a
Chang.
Falcons break. That's Meaty Chang with the inside throw, finding McQuaid. As the Bay Area notches the game's first break and lead 2-1.
Very calm. Work through their progressions. Nice work. Stepanidis. Let me tell you. Let me demonstrate how to climb the ladder and make those catches. So calm. Those big catches preserved the possession, and on they went.
Yeah, Stepanidis, a stand-up player for mixed club team Mischief, demonstrating the power of positioning and, yes, height as well. As a mixed division player, I've had the joy and sorrow of having to try and stop Lily on some of those high throws, and Arizona defenders there finding the same struggle that I have many a time over.
Very funny. The fans are coming in. Things are going to get hyped in the stands.
Just want to shout out a couple of folks who are returning to availability for the Bay Area as the defense rolls back out there. Audrey Sheehy making a return from injury. Foot block! Figgy Chen! Oh my goodness! Chen.
That was Vicky.
Inside throw.
Oh.
But blocked. That Lindsay Doyle coming across to deny the attempts from Chen. But what a foot block.
Falcons like this position. Team's in their red zone. Another chance. There's another.
Sure enough, low throw. Julia
Lefty
Ting.
break. Oh.
And easy enough. Ting to McQuaid. That's a second Falcons break. 3-1.
And this is a situation where you said, look at this defense. A lot of hunger, a lot of confidence to go on the turn, and you've got the defense on their heels, and they capitalize. They make great catches, great cuts. Exciting.
And this is where it's gone out of hand for other teams. The Falcons, both against Seattle and San Diego, were able to build significant first quarter leads and then maintained and or built their advantage the rest of the game. Sidewinders have to be careful that they don't suffer the same fate, that the Falcons do not continue to ride this energy to not only a 2-break lead, but potentially a 3 or 4-break lead as happened with Seattle and San Diego. But this has been the recipe. This has been the recipe for the Bay Area, and it's working so far halfway through the first quarter.
It's always interesting to look at sort of the mannerisms of one team that's feeling it. The other team is trying to figure it out and lock in. Arizona's locked in. See if they can put it together and disrupt this defense.
Notably, with the wind, that was a upwind, downwind pair of breaks. As Caroline O'Connell tries to find a receiver deep, but Maxfield not once covered, but twice covered.
Maggie O'Connor's in the game. That's a rolling highlight film there. Can boost the disc deep and go get it. See if that makes a difference. Very exciting player.
Long-time Bay Area player as well. Plenty of carryover and connection between the teams in the Western Ultimate League. It's always fun to see folks come back up to the Bay who used to be local. It's Donahue. This guy's a couple of Sidewinders. Mari Saltzman, Pugh, far sideline. Inside throw. Continued just off the hands of Donahue. as Maggie O'Connor.
Big flat mark to dissuade the deep put.
And Falcons trying to sort out the defense a little bit, but Arizona not doing much. Initially, O'Connor over the top and out the back.
She got the look. They do a flat mark on it because she's going to find a way to jack it, to boost it.
Problem is just the downwind direction is just so, you have to put so much touch on those throws. O'Connor's certainly capable of it, but that one just, like I said, a little bit too much juice as the Falcons get going again. So I was saying Audrey Sheehy back from injury, and also for the Falcons, Melina Wiebe, a standout goal scorer, one of the Falcons' leaders last year, had a kid earlier this year and is now back and active playing again, which is great to see. Stepanidis ripping it into the wind, but just shorted into the wind as O'Connell took position against Donahue. Back to Arizona. And Bay Area just fast breaking immediately. Munson needing an outlet. Finds Kanari Manishi. Mara Saltzman away for Donahue on the doorstep. Q goes for the reset. Saltzman unmarked. Inside throw. Not in. And goal. That is another Bay Area break. Munson to Stepanidis. And as we were saying, Falcons using the momentum now have a 4-1 lead.
Yeah, the defense is comfortable, and that's not what you want to see if you're on the other team. You don't want your opponent to be comfortable on D. So I don't know. I'm surprised that Arizona doesn't want to sort of stop this train and maybe chill it out. But this is maybe a Steve Kerr moment. Let the players play through it. We'll preserve the timeouts till later in the quarter.
Only problem with that, given the current field conditions, is that you're having that offense go out and try and work it upwind. Yes, it's been sort of sorely, but it is somewhat upwind, downwind, and that has been affecting throws. We've seen just on the away throw to Donahue from the Falcons just get tossed up, and so now the Falcons are going to be able to once again apply some pressure with Arizona having to work most of the length of the field upwind. Aragon, center handling. Near sideline, floaty throw. And nearly able to get it as Lippincott, but not able to on the second effort. But throw away from Winslow and disc back to Arizona. Pretty up-tempo game, Lawrence, I have to say. It's been fun to watch, back and forth, both teams getting their offenses going and moving right along.
Absolutely. It's a very fun game to watch.
And that throw to nobody for a moment. Chen chasing it down. And Meaty Chang over the top.
Elsa
throw
Winslow,
floating
can she
away.
Put it
Nearly.
Winslow with the bid, trying to sort it out.
Nearly able to spear it, but not a terrible strategy if you're the Falcons. Chang just putting it deep and saying to the Sidewinders, hey, you want to work the full 80 again? Go ahead. And first throw turnover. Commentator's curse, commentator's blessing, you could say.
Well, Arizona has not demonstrated they can get out of their own red zone. So
Ting to Zalk. And Zalk turns it back over, trying to find Ting on the reset. But, hey, same situation as a moment ago. Sidewinders having to work the length of the field. Able to get the centering pass to Aragon. And
foul
on
call.
The sideline, Sheehy matching up against Aragon. Looks like a potential call.
As they're talking out in the field, they are actually turning to the observer to arbitrate this.
And observer ruling contested.
So what does that mean, contested?
Contested for these situations. Disc will go back to the player with the disc, and ambitious try from Steiner.
Winslow with the big defense, and it comes right back.
High tempo game, but both teams looking a little frantic as we get into the closing stages of this first quarter. And disc off the hands of Doyle. And Ting maybe taking a look to see how much time is left, and timeout called.
15 seconds in the quarter.
We've seen this before, Lawrence, haven't we, with the Falcons getting an opportunity at the end of the quarter and coaches calling a timeout from the sideline to try and maintain possession. No, I don't know if we mentioned this in the opener, but the Western Ultimate League, you are allowed to sub on timeouts. So the Falcons have an opportunity to sub that line off, give them a breather, and get some of your more primary offensive players involved. It worked wonders against San Diego. We'll see if it works wonders against Arizona as well.
And what else, little nugget, you need to know about the end of the quarter in the WUL games?
The possession rule?
Possession rule.
Yes.
So right now, time goes down as long as you're in possession, that you can continue to play. So it's going to be interesting to see. The Falcons don't need to boost it as a buzzer beater. They can move it, run their progressions down the field, and calmly punch it in. So we'll see. Will they set up a situation where they have a one-to-one deep ball, or will they work it to set up some sort of play, a progression play?
I mean, with 15 seconds left, that is, let's say every person holds it basically the max they can, 7 seconds stall, so let's say they hold it for 6 seconds. You need, what, 2 passes? First person holds it for 6, pass it to the next person, and Falcons maintain possession through the end of the quarter. Certainly possible, although Han Chen with the disc in hand. And dishy throw to Patricia Anderson. Anderson looking for a reset. Finds Vivian Chu. Inside throw. And a quick score for the Bay Area. Kari Imanishi on the final reception from Vivian Chu. That is a break conversion as the Bay Area go up 5-1, albeit leaving some time on the clock. But you take the score. You take the score if you're the Bay Area, I would certainly think.
I was going to say, you're a tough coach if you're saying that. But, yeah, and I was going to say they worked their progression. They started with a break throw, and very, very smooth. And what's nice is when you throw to cutters that know they're getting the disc, you get that extra energy. And then all of a sudden you get the defenses like, we're on this. They're eating big. So, by the way, don't invite this defense to your Thanksgiving dinner. They will not let you eat. They're going to be knocking plates out of your hand. This is not a hospitable defensive team.
And just again, the Falcons with such a hot start at home. And again, as has been the case in every single home game so far, albeit only 2 of them before this. But this is making 3 of just incredible starts from the Bay Area. As Aragon holds onto the disc, that should maintain, especially with this pass to Chang, that the Sidewinders will have the final possession of the quarter. This centering to Maxfield. And Chang bidding, and that is the quarter. Once again, the Falcons holding their opponents to 1 first quarter point as they have a 5-1 dominant lead at the end of the first quarter.
So, to play devil's advocate, there can be a team mentality to go, we have this, we got this. But there's second wins, team starting to gel, the defense gets laxed. And comebacks happen.
We'll see what happens in the second quarter. We're going to step away, and we'll be back for the start of the second quarter. And welcome back to Oakland, California. We are about to get the second quarter of action underway between the Bay Area Falcons and the Arizona Sidewinders. And the home team Falcons holding a 5-1 lead over Arizona. I was saying they've once again held the team to only 1 point in the first quarter. I slightly misspoke. The last time out against San Diego scored 2 points in the first quarter to the Falcons 6, versus against Seattle, it was 6-1. So not quite 6 points for the Falcons, not quite the 2 points given up, but just incredible performance so far from the Falcons defense once again. So the question to you, Lawrence, as Arizona gets set to start on defense, what's your adjustment? How do you, as a coach, talk to your team about adjusting and adapting to the pressure that the Falcons are putting the Sidewinders under?
I think right now the simple question is you just got to catch the disc. Right now, Arizona can work their progressions, but just make sure you catch the disc. So the Falcons are jumping on the miscues. If Arizona can just make the catches, it'll be a different situation.
And it seems like the Sidewinders coaching staff's adjustment is to throw a zone. Sarah Carnahan and Han Chen working it back and forth before Carnahan got caught up with the Arizona defenders. And rule of foul, so Carnahan will hold on to the disc on the near sideline. Pre-stall count in the Western Ultimate League, so opportunities for players to move ahead of the disc coming back into play. And Chen finds Suji far side of the field to open up the Bay Area offense. And back to Maru near sideline. And disc is in and up. Chu floating the throw. Angled Maru in front of Steiner. And Arizona staying in the zone. Not switching to person, at least not yet. Chen, low, inside throw, Imanishi. Ruled up for the score. Chen sneaking it to Imanishi. And the Falcons unfazed by the Sidewinder zone. 6-1, Bay Area lead.
I like the idea they needed adjustment. And if it wasn't for the foul, they potentially had a turn.
Falcons offense, they're acting like the wind was not even there, just pinging the disc side to side, making those Sidewinders defenders run and opening up the windows that they needed. I mean, Suji and Maru, both incredible outlets on the sidelines that allowed for some of that movement. And then gotta love the vision of Han Chen finding the low inside window to Imanishi, who has her second goal of the game.
Now we're back to the Falcons' strength, the D-line.
Back to the D-line, and once again, Sidewinders having to work upwind. Gazelle near sideline. Up the line to Chang. Now to Garrett.
Donahue trying to make the windows to Chip Chang. Tougher.
And a quick turnaround as Ting, away throw to Donahue, who has that all day, not in. And Weeby on the doorstep. Needing an outlet. High stall called. And that was a stall. Observer ruling, it is a stall. Weeby not able to find an option on the doorstep. And disc back to the Sidewinders. And Gazelle far sideline. Floated angled throw. Reeled in. That's the second block of the point by Amanda Leahy, but throw to nobody as Gazelle makes sure of it. But Leahy, a couple of heads-up blocks to earn the disc back for the Bay Area.
Yeah, very much so.
Sidewinders just not able to get out of it. They've remained mostly stuck, albeit they got to the other side of the field, but Leahy was like, nope, not on that final pass. Another 80 to go for Arizona.
The match. Donahue and Vicky Chen are all over Chip Chang. Chip Chang is the general. You do not want to get her comfortable. Definitely want to find ways to make her
and Leahy's third block of the point. Donahue just taking the most difficult matchups, or certainly some of the most difficult matchups the last couple weeks. Last time out had the very difficult task of trying to slow down Kayla Helton. Now taking on Chip Chang. Away throw. Winslow, goal! 7-1, Bay Area. Arizona with absolutely no answers right now.
Was that Leahy? It was a beautiful throw by Amanda Leahy. That was awesome.
It looks like it from the congratulations.
Yeah, from Leahy, that was a beautiful
three
put.
blocks and the assist.
Yeah.
That is quite the
Handling
point for Amanda Leahy.
Yeah, handling her business on the field. Elsa Winslow finding the goal area. So exciting. That's great. Very exciting player. It's great that she's on the D-line making a difference.
Out of UC Santa Barbara, playing with the Bernie Skirts back in the day. Falcons drawing from talent all over the state, with folks moving in and sometimes out of the Bay Area, as we talked about earlier with Maggie O'Connor. And 7-1 is quite the decisive lead so far. Again, never count your chickens before they hatch, but the Sidewinders got to find something to get them going. They'll have an opportunity to get back on offense going downwind, but it's been tough sledding for the Sidewinders so far on the road.
You are on the sideline for Arizona, flipping switches, talking to players, talking to teams, trying to get them focused, do some fine-tuning, trying to find that one thing that might jumpstart.
And again, this Falcons defense, a little bit of miscommunication. O'Connor left unguarded for a moment. Eifert to O'Connor. And Arizona pretty content to ping it back and forth. Underneath throw. O'Connor near sideline. Melissa Dunn finding the around. Eifert, and just too much.
You're right about the wind, and definitely that's almost like the eighth player on the field. The wind really helps the defense not have to play so tight because it's just going to push the disc out of the field. But just to go back, if you're the coach of Arizona, you like that look. We're going down the field. We're getting our progressions. They got their look. Now they just got to figure out the touch and the wind direction.
Stepanidis just able to hold on to it, despite the tight mark of Eifert. And point block, but foul called. Shelby Petty on the mark on Saltzman. Foul. Observer ruling contested. Disc will stay with Saltzman, marked by Petty. Petty nearly able to generate the short field opportunity. These players move in the pre-stall count. Saltzman resetting to Pugh. Stepanidis. Pugh, inside throw. Stepanidis. Saltzman. Falcons making it work in the tight windows. It's McQuaid. Pugh inside. Khalees Cardenas. And timeout called. And good timing too before the turnover. And that was the Falcons' second timeout of the half. They have no timeouts remaining. But again, have the break opportunity. It's been a little bit back and forth in this point. Take the timeout, sub some players on. It's the same sort of rhythm and pattern for the Bay Area time and again when using those timeouts.
Absolutely. Value that possession. I think it's great timing. You're seeing a trend, as you're noting, and that's great. Get some fresh legs, especially on a long point, and see if the Falcons can punch this in. 8-1 is an interesting conversation for a coach to get your team psyched up to get above, but it starts. Yeah, so let me say, Arizona can make a dynamic stand and get the score. It's all good. They hold, but they got it. It means the offense did their business.
I think really, if you're Arizona at this point, you just have to get one. I don't care how it happens. You just have to get one.
Yep.
Because otherwise, there's like this lack of belief that as good as players are, as much as I'm sure like their belief in their own abilities and our belief in their abilities as fans and commentators, when you're down this big, you have to have something to hold on to. And Arizona just needs one, and I could see a rally. Now, will that be a rally to get them all the way back into the game? We'll have to see. But if they can get a hold, get a downwind hold, just settle their team, their score and their offense, then they'll have a chance. As Thomas big bid hand and off the hands of Chen, and Thomas taking an injury on that bid.
By the way, lovely soliloquy. You're absolutely right. It comes down to one point. You're right. Can they score? Because you got to synthesize it down to one thing. We need one score. It starts with one score. Absolutely.
Tough to see Thomas walk off there. She's okay. And Sidewinders with the disc back in hand. Length of the field going downwind. And O'Connor disc on the near side corner. Vivian Chu taking a big tumble with the tangle of legs. As Eifert, center of the field, working with Kay Powell.
Okay, is someone going to cut? That's the look. You can't stop. You can't.
And Eifert! No, nearly.
The disc got magical. It hung up.
That would have been incredible. Eifert has made big plays time and again with Arizona, with club team Fort Collins Shame, but unable to come up with the big grab this time around.
And that's the funny thing about playing Ultimate. The disc you think is out of reach, and all of a sudden there's a puff of wind. The disc gets magical. It becomes catchable if you had just not stopped running.
Zalk just not quite on the same page on the reset. And shorter field opportunity for Arizona, and timeout taken. And I think that's what you have to do if you're the Sidewinders. You really got to take advantage of this opportunity. We are 3.5 minutes left in the second quarter. Still a 6-point Bay Area lead.
Yeah, the clock is not in Arizona's favor, so they call timeout to stop it. But one of the other things is, you almost say, if we get a turn, we need to get into our offense quicker because at some point, these long points going back and forth just eat up time, and you got to score quick. You got to get out of this hole. You got to get out and hopefully get another turn. So just saying that they sort of casually came up on the disc, it's like the clock is running.
And it's looking like Arizona's going to get a few subs out there as they try and take advantage and get that 1 point. And you're right, clock isn't in their favor, and we still have another half to play. So I like the call. If you're Arizona, you have 2 timeouts. Might as well use them, especially in these close circumstances, really trying to get that foothold again to try and find their way back into the game. Aragon starting with the disc.
That's the look.
Away throw to Gazelle, and that is an Arizona hold. And they're going to take a sigh of relief that they have notched another one. And now they'll have to see what their defensive line can do with another opportunity in the waiting stages of the second quarter. But this is what we said. They need one. Now, can they build on it?
Case in point, very much so. 3:31, they scored quickly. The clock has stopped. And can they get a break?
And I like the set play out of the timeout. Aragon with the disc, trying to find Gazelle on the way through. Gazelle, a former D1 goalkeeper. I'm pretty sure Valparaiso. And has been an instant addition to this Arizona team, playing last year and this year for the Sidewinders. First goal of the game, and Aragon's second assist of the game. The only assist there was so far for Arizona as they trail 7-2.
By that play, you could tell that connection's happened a few times. There's a familiarity with that play.
Oh, I'm sure once or twice. Cardenas.
Suji's Suji
underneath.
Really dynamic. Boom.
And not in. Called by the observer. Cardenas tried to run it in. Not in. And one more to Anderson. That's actually going to work.
Was that Han-Chen? Was that Thunder and Lightning?
That was...
I don't think that was Han-Chen.
I think that was Cardenas
throwing
it deep to Suji.
Suji, beautiful
and
cut.
Cardenas trying to get the little shimmy into the goal, but not quite able to do it. And eventually the goal goes to Patricia Anderson. And Falcons offense is like, cool, you got a hole, congratulations. We're just going to go do our thing and go get another one. Completely unfazed and taking advantage of those away opportunities. And easy as you like at the end of the day. And that burned, what, it was 3:31 left? That was a 33-second point.
No,
pretty quick
good
for the Falcons offense.
When you get a handle that can boost it in power position and you've got a cutter like Suji going, there's a green light. Got
and just
wheels.
The trust, too. Because Suji was covered. Like, let's be real. Suji was covered, but definitely one of the fastest players on this Falcons team. And Cardenas was like, hey, I'm going to put it over the top and just plan that you're going to be there to get it.
Suji has a gear.
Quite a few gears, certainly. Aragon playing center handler for Arizona. And Maxfield near sideline. Maxfield trying to find Gazelle. And nearly able to foul called on the sideline. Pugh on the defense against Gazelle on the layout.
That looks like one of the observers. That's Sebastian Miner, a.k.a. Cotton, calling no foul.
Looks like no foul call by the observer. This now with the Bay Area. Pugh trying to get it off the corner, finds Meaty Chang, center of the field, with Stepanitis cutting underneath. Meaty Chang, Eliza Pugh tried to find Stepanitis. Stepanitis, I don't think even knew the pass was coming.
It was a beautiful throw.
And another timeout taken. I don't mind it. You have 2, and we're under a minute and a half to play. And again, just trying to maintain. If you're Arizona, keep pace. Don't want to lose touch. If you can bring the score to 8-3, maybe get a late end of quarter break, all of a sudden it's closed up to an 8-4 margin. And so the Sidewinders coach is trying to at least get that going with another hold.
Yeah, let's see what happens. Run their progression. Still 124, but see from a stop disc, can they get a nice, just outside the red zone, get into some sort of flow and punch it in.
Teams taking their time to chat for the time being, trying to reset, figure out what they're going to do. Falcons certainly in a larger group. Sidewinders have their core of folks, as no surprise Aragon goes over and stands over the disc. Looks like maybe a sub or 2 for the Falcons potentially. But Meaty Chang will stay on the field and will be on the mark against Aragon.
They put Donahue, going to try to disrupt Chip Chang from getting comfortable.
Continued that job. Hopped up throw, and Meaty Chang able to get it. And Eliza Pugh shorted, and Chang ensures it hits the turf. Inside throw.
Donahue's trying to play 6-on-6 ultimate, try to take Chip Chang out of the equation.
Not a bad strategy, as Powell tries to find Aragon, but just off the hands. And Chang puts it back into play. Munson, center of the field. Now Pugh. Underneath throw to Stepanitis. Donahue, far side. Looks for options instead. Opts for the reset. Pugh, big crossfield throw that is just held in by Chang on the sideline.
Great hands by Chang.
Stepanitis over the top. Donahue. Indeed, on the end zone line. Time has expired. Short field. Little dish. And that will be a quarter-ending score. Donahue dishing to Eliza Pugh to give the Falcons another score. And that is a 9-2 lead. I think that was a break, Lawrence. I think that was a quarter-ending break. I was talking about how a quarter-ending break could be the recipe for success for the Sidewinders. Not the case this time around.
This is an amazing half for the Falcons. There's another half, as you said. There is. They can continue to stay focused. You can definitely sub deeper, give more playing time, but the same thing is, can you continue to get turns?
And we're going to take a break. When we come back, halftime interview.
Defense bases. Defense bases.
I'm here with Arizona Sidewinders player Chip Chang. Chip, a little bit of tough first half. Any thoughts looking into the second half for y'all to be able to make a big comeback?
Yeah. I mean, I think, the first half, we really let San Francisco dictate our flow. So in the second half, right, we're just going to go back to playing our offense, our D, right? We're going to be the ones pushing the pace. We this season have had a record where we typically have one bad quarter. So we got that out of the way. So, yeah, the second half is, I think, we're mentally focused in, and we know what we need to do, and we just need to go out there and execute.
Yeah. Any particular shout-outs that you have for any teammates real quick while you're up here?
Oh, man. Depends on who's listening. Yeah, I mean, I think this is a really strong – are you talking about our team or the other team?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, this is a really great team. It's a big bummer to be missing some of the players that we are, especially on our O-line with Paige and Nora being out, so definitely shouting the two of them out. We're definitely feeling it. And, yeah.
Sounds good. Good luck in the second half.
Yeah,
Thanks for
thank
coming
you.
up. Maxfield with the bookends as teammates are thrown in. Demanda Maru, and quick, easy enough.
Big.
Nearly.
Flying lessons.
And good adjustment. That's a
Chang.
return from injury. Foot block. Vicky Chen. Oh my goodness. Chen.
That was Vicky.
Inside throw.
Oh. Break. Oh.
And easy enough. Tries to find a receiver deep, but Maxfield not once covered but top and out the back.
She got the look.
All right, and welcome back to Oakland, California, Fremont High School for the Bay Area Falcons versus the Arizona Sidewinders. Big thanks to Chip Chang for coming up here for a quick interview. And I mean, yeah, Chip was talking about that the Falcons defense is putting a lot of pressure on their systems, but that they just gotta run their flow and find their flow. And I think that's the recipe for success for Arizona. There's almost nothing else you can do other than just try and continue to find the small successes, because you're down 9-2 at this point. You just have to find any windows you can and just take advantage and trim the deficit bit by bit. Also, I'm Jenna Weiner, joined once again by Lawrence McKendall. Welcome back for the second half. Hello.
Very nice interview, by the way. It's great that Chip came in. I've got 90 seconds. That was great. Nice interview. See if she can get comfortable.
Chip already back down on the field. Finds Lippincott, who slides, and that's an injury. Lippincott, who was unavailable earlier and was back for this game. Fortunate to see her go limping off to the sideline. I hope that she's okay.
Absolutely.
And Arizona gets right back into flow. Lefty flick from O'Connor. Perfectly angled. Incredible throw from O'Connor over the top. And that is a quick hold for Arizona, finding Melissa Dunn in the end zone.
That's just 1 point. It's 1 point they need. If you're the Falcons, it's just 1 point. If you're Arizona, our gunner just got a connection. That's a great way to come in the second half. Getting one of our gunners going. Power position, there was no flat mark. You definitely want to put a flat mark on Maggie O'Connor.
Although it's tough with the lefty. You got to say, it mixes it up. Everyone's used to marking against righties. All of a sudden, the lefty comes out and their pivot isn't quite in the same place. Their release point isn't quite in the same place. And then that was, I mean, an absolutely gorgeous throw.
It was nice
by O'Connor.
But I wouldn't trap that. I would do a flat mark to keep that logical conclusion downfield, that power position advantage, sort of mitigate that.
Yeah. So maybe an adjustment for the Falcons to go forward. But, you know, if O'Connor's going to make throws like that, you kind of have to take it, as we see zone once again from Arizona trying to mix it up. But Vivian Chu finding a gap in the defense. Falcons working upwind. Oh! And a big collision between Chu and Eifert. Tough to have that situation where a player's trying to run for the up the line throw and the Cubs trying to bear down on it, and those are tough collisions.
I don't think that was a foul, but it was a bang situation. Let's see how it's sorted out.
Just talking about it, observer ruling, and indeed no foul, as you said. So turnover, disc will be with Arizona. So they have a chance to break to start the second half. Quick throw, couple of them along the near sideline, but just off the hands.
Arizona's in flow. They are definitely running their system.
And now Falcons having to work against the zone once again.
It's like a
Length of the field, Chu trying to find the reset, able to find Carnahan through a crowd of hands. Carnahan, Maru as the outlet. Carnahan, Chu.
Carnahan slicing and dicing.
Cardenas resetting the Chen, now centering to Carnahan. After the contact turnover,
wonderful ease.
It's been pretty smooth sailing from the Falcons. Cardenas like potentially faking a handoff. And the way throw, not in. Maru to Zalk, Zalk, Imanishi. There you go, for the Falcons on the second effort, able to get the score. And it's double digits for the Bay Area. Imanishi with her third goal of the game on the assist from Zalk.
You know, one thing that's interesting is, you know, from a fan standpoint, you may be watching a lopsided game. If you sort of appreciate the game within the game, you sort of watch what the coaches do. How do a coach manage a team when you're up? How do you coach a team that's down? There's a lot of different things that come in play. There's a lot of psychology, self-psychology as a coach, but psychology, how do you reach your team and keep them playing, you know, and looking for those scores? It starts with a score.
And Arizona has an opportunity, not able to take advantage, and the Bay Area continuing to operate pretty clinically on offense on the second effort. And if they can keep doing that, then Arizona has no chance coming back into this game. It's going to be all Falcons if their offense can continue to convert, if not on the first effort, on the second.
The big dogs are eating. The defense is strong.
And it also helps when discs just go straight off the hands, as it did for Lauren Pisani on the near sideline for Arizona. Just those tough mistakes, and now we'll see if the Falcons D-line can notch another break to add to their first half successes. But low throw from Pugh gives this back to Arizona. O'Connor. It's floated throw, and multiple Falcons in the area, but Maxfield calling a foul.
Observers agree, it looks like. Let's see what they say.
Tough to initially say. Pugh trying to
interact,
trying to demonstrate the cylinder of space, and observer ruling. Sure enough, no foul.
That observer, I'm sorry, observer was just mimicking the call that was said. They were not agreeing on that. And
the ruling, no foul. Pugh occupying cylinder of space. For those of you who are, I'm saying cylinder of space as if everyone knows what I'm talking about. Basically, in Ultimate, you have a right to your own space, your own body space, generally defined as sort of a cylinder surrounding your immediate body space, in addition to any of the airspace directly above you in that same general cylinder area. And so, if you're able to get the block, a double block there, Maxfield getting a touch and Powell cleaning up. If you're able to get a block by maintaining your position, your verticality is a famous word from basketball in this regard, then able to get the clean block. He was able to do so there, but Arizona now with the disc. Chang finding Garrett. O'Connor near sideline. Powell. Chang. And big bid, but another foul call. And Leahy looks like there's no contest there. Foul, no contest, sure enough. Disc will stay with O'Connor on the near sideline cone.
It was really hungry defense. It was nice. Looking off the give and go.
Powell, O'Connor. Now finding Maxfield, back to O'Connor. Falcons mostly pushing Arizona back. Pick call, this plays get tangled up. O'Connor just in the center field. Falcons doing a good job of denying, at least for the moment, the Sidewinders really making the Arizona offense have to work it back and forth. O'Connor to Powell. Powell, high release throw to Chang. Does connect. Chang, inside window, but behind the receiver. Trying to find Pisani and not there. Missed opportunity for Arizona in the short field. So many passes, but nothing coming of it, and disc back to the Bay Area.
That 7-second stall count. Caught him napping.
And Vicky Chen, not sure if that was intended. Trying to find Donahue as the outlet once again. Does work. Resets to Munson. And Donahue makes an effort. Unable to come up with it.
Nice bid by Donahue.
And potentially a timeout call. And never mind. Observers were waving their hands as if there was like a call or a pause or such, but instead this will just go straight to Arizona. And now there's a timeout call by Arizona. Long point, long battling point, and boy, if you're the Sidewinders, so many chances in that red zone, but just unable to take advantage, at least so far.
3:47 left in the quarter. So right now, what can we say? It starts with one. Can they get a hold? Can the Arizona Sidewinders get a hold and start their comeback? Let me just tell you, if the comeback needs to happen, it should start happening now.
Yeah, this is quite the margin. 7 points right now. Hey, but hey, we've seen by other teams in this league the San Diego example coming back on Arizona with a 7-1 run in the fourth quarter.
With 10 minutes left in the game.
Exactly.
They came back. So absolutely. No, there's never say never. No, absolutely.
And I think if you're Arizona, right, you're not making up ground, but you're not losing more ground. Which is fine, but eventually they have to score more than 3 points. So the Falcons just continuing to apply pressure. Happy with this defensive point to just grind it out, make Arizona continue to work. And despite the opportunity to sub on a timeout, seems like most of the players who are out there already for the Sidewinders are still out there. Chang, Powell, and O'Connor in the backfield. All three now have touched it after the timeout. Powell, center of the field.
They can go side to side. Do not let them go downfield.
Speaking of, over the top. And Maxfield getting bodied up by Winslow, and injury call. As Maxfield makes her way off the field. Seemed like there was quite a bit of contact there, but any thoughts as Winslow tried to establish positioning against Maxfield on the over-the-top throw?
You could have potentially called foul as you were trying to get position, and you were sort of pushed out of the way. I don't think that was the issue of why there was an injury, but that was room for a foul with the disc in the air affecting positioning.
And an incredible layout block. Helen Eifert soaring to give the Sidewinders the disc back. Eifert getting huge for that block. And another short field opportunity, red zone opportunity for Arizona. Pick called. Disc go back to Gazelle, marked by Stepanitis.
So can they, the clock is running. So can they score quickly? I guess let's start. Can they score?
Gazelle, O'Connor thinks about it, finds Chang instead, center of the field. And a big block.
Got the look.
And no foul call. McQuaid with the incredible block back. Eifert goes soaring. McQuaid goes soaring.
Nice D.
Outstanding defense from both teams. And just nearly a punt of sorts from the Bay Area. And the Sidewinders just have to go again. They just have to reset their offense and try again. The clock does stop when the disc goes out of play with under 2 minutes left in the quarter. So clock restarts as O'Connor centers to Powell. Another over-the-top throw to Chip Chang, marked by Meaty Chang. Powell over the top, visionary throw, and I got a block, seemingly, or a drop with the pressure.
They ran their progression. It went right there.
And just a block by McQuaid, ensuring that Marty Martinez couldn't maintain control of the disc.
And that's the thing about defense. You may not be there, but your energy and just being in the vicinity, that energy can definitely create pressure.
And timeout called from the sideline. Again, at the end of the quarter situation. And again, Falcons with an opportunity to break. Coaches deciding, yep, this is the time to call another timeout. We have 2.5. We might as well use one at the end of the quarter. And McQuaid with a pair of blocks, but oh my goodness, that block by Eifert was outstanding.
Outstanding. Very much so. And what's going to be interesting is let's. I know I'm looking beyond the curvature of the earth to talk about the road win. Can the Falcons take this energy and replicate it on the road? Can they travel with strength, or if they don't travel with strength, maybe their A-line, some of their A-line players don't travel. Can that next line, that step up, can they continue to replicate this? Is this this is a trend? Because if it is, it's a formidable trend.
Yeah, to your point, right? The wins so far have been at home. The loss was on the road, albeit in week 1 at altitude at Utah. But this upcoming weekend, next weekend, the final weekend of the regular season, the Bay Area on the road, doubleheader at Arizona on Saturday, at San Diego on Sunday. But even if they don't take the full complement of all of the top contributors, I'm looking at the stats that I've been keeping so far. The only player with more than 1 assist so far is Julia Ting with 2. Every other player with an assist so far has 1. So it almost doesn't matter who you take because you're getting this across the roster contribution, and that should allow for the Falcons to be able to travel well next weekend, albeit with the doubleheader. But a win here gets them into the championship weekend, so then from there you're just playing for seeding.
That's a good observation, though. Look, just talking about the stats.
Floaty throw, Thomas rips it down for the Arizona goal. So Bay Area take a timeout, not able to take advantage. And it is a goal, and I think a hold. That was an incredibly long point, Lord. It's hard to keep track sometimes.
That was a catch of relief, too. Like, yes, we read the brochure in Ultimate Frisbee, and one of those was put the Frisbee in the goal. Yes, it works. Yes. Look, Arizona, once they are in flow, they're really fun to watch. But they have to the credit of the defense, they haven't been able to be in flow for long.
And that was Eifert with the assist, who had the amazing block earlier in the point. So getting it done in both aspects of the game. And a 10-4 margin, still a large one, and Arizona is still yet to break, but a little bit of time left in this third quarter. We'll see if the Falcons offense can continue to purr as it has for most of the game.
So right now the Falcons going to be comfortable with Arizona going side to side. You can go side to side all day. But here's the deal. You're the Arizona coach. We got to start boosting. So who's out there with the horses to start boosting? We'll see. Right now,
Han Chen is boosting.
just like this.
To Kadar Imanishi, who tracks it down. Chen trying to follow up. Imanishi unmarked. Chen not in. Follow throw. Done. Wow.
That's so clean.
Wow.
So clean. So clean.
On
That was beautiful.
cue, Chen putting one over the top to Imanishi, and then the quick follow-up and into Maru.
Yeah, the Sidewinders going, we're going to get something What? They scored already? So, yeah, wow.
Just astounding. The efficiency. Then this is what has made the Falcons so good at home. It is the defensive pressure and the offensive efficiency. That is a deadly combo. That is every coach's
Lovely.
dream
Yeah.
to have your D-line applying as much pressure as they do and having your O-line be able to come out, get the over-the-top throw to a wide-open Imanishi, and then cruise into the end zone from there. I think it was, just looking at the clock, 118 to 54. Again, like a 30-second point for the Bay Area as they have an 11-4 lead with under a minute to play in this third quarter.
No, that was really nice. And I don't know what the wind. I'm looking at, there's some wind. That was a beautiful throw, even with the wind gusting a little bit. That was a beautiful throw to Imanishi.
So the Sidewinders offense goes back out there once again with not very much time and facing off against a Bay Area zone, which I think is the first time they've thrown it all game. Arizona unbothered so far. Chip Chang, away throw, over the top, and nearly reeled in.
Got the look. Beautiful progression down the field.
Nearly reeled in by Lindsey Doyle. Chang just perfectly touchy throw along the sideline and just hung up a little bit too long and too far for Powell. And Vicky Chen will jog it up. 21 seconds left. Falcons with a chance to maintain possession through the end of the quarter. Winslow up the line to Ting. Ting, big away throw.
They got the
Donahue, one
lineup.
more
Oh, I
time.
love this.
Yup. And reset third to Chen. That should ensure that the Falcons will maintain possession through the end of the quarter. And there it is. Buzzer, Munson, Chen. Falcons break 12-4
Wow.
lead at the end of the third. Incredible stuff once again by the Falcons. And they have their biggest lead of the game, I think, 12-4 at the end of the third quarter. We'll be back for the final quarter of action in just a bit. Don't go away. And welcome back to Fremont High School in Oakland, California for the final quarter of action between the Bay Area Falcons and the Arizona Sidewinders. I'm Jenna Meyer, joined in the booth by Lawrence McKendall as the hometown Falcons hold a 12-4 lead. Not quite the same scoring we've seen in the last couple of games, but a similar kind of margin as the Bay Area's wins over Seattle and San Diego. And Arizona has a mountain to climb if they are going to prevent themselves from being eliminated before the final weekend of action.
Right. Absolutely. They've got a mountain to climb. So let's talk about trends. These are not one-offs. There's a trend being established here. So it's going to be interesting to see what this fourth quarter, what they do. Probably see more zone. And I think you're going to find more boosting.
We'll find out, but speaking of trends, if the Falcons do secure a third blowout win, again, albeit all of them have been at home, but in every other circumstance for every team in this league, teams have won on the road, have won away, and had these sort of back and forth, and the games have mostly been close, albeit sometimes within 3 or 5. But San Francisco won by 8 against Seattle, won by 7 against San Diego, is currently up 8 against Arizona. Yes, they have to go on the road next week, but if they close this one out, they're going to be dangerous at championship weekend.
And that's what I sort of, before I wandered off, talking about trends. Does this trend continue on the road? This is not an anomaly. They are formidable, and what's nice is the O and the D line are able to create and generate points very cleanly.
Pull lands on the far sideline. Carnahan just about dodging out of the way. Now receives the disc from Chu over the top to Suji. And
I love the position by Suji.
But Gazelle just enough to deny the reception on the away throw. But can't say I hate it from the Falcons. They're going downwind, take the over-the-top look, and once again, make the Sidewinders proof it. Make them work at the length of the field. O'Connell, marked by Anderson. And Cardenas gets in the way. Chu, 5 yards out, inside throw. And easy enough for Anderson. Makes it work. And that's a quick Bay Area hold, extends their lead to 13-4.
Great grab by Anderson.
Anderson's second goal of the game. Chu's second assist of the game. And it'll be interesting to see this Falcons team on the road next week against San Diego and Arizona. Two teams that, at least in Arizona's case, they're in the process of blowing out. Does that travel, as you said? And the other question for me, too, is if the Falcons do have success on the road against San Diego and against Arizona, does that mean that the Falcons could be favorites potentially heading to the championship weekend? Yes, they have to do it at altitude, where they took their only loss of the season so far against Utah, because championship weekend held the first weekend of June in Colorado. Colorado having already secured their place, but this Falcons team is not the same one that played away at Utah in week 1. So I think depending on next week's results, an argument could be made that the Falcons might be the favorites coming in. But again, have some games to go to see as Sidewinders try and work it on the near sideline. O'Connor back to Powell. Thought about the crossfield throw to Garrett, not there. Instead, Chang up the line. Chip Chang once again. Still marked by Donahue. And a hammer over the top. And with 2 receivers in the way, still not able to come up with it.
What's tough about those hammers, those high release throws, you got the sun coming down, so you're looking up into the sun from that angle. So fearless throw, you got separation out there, but it just definitely carried a little bit long.
Chip Chang maybe trying to take advantage of the downward opportunity, let the disc float, But as you said, very difficult for the receivers looking back into the sun. And Leahy ruled down, maybe had possession and then lost it. And this back to Arizona.
Those are those ones that you drop, you look at like, how did you leave my hand sort of look.
Still a great effort. And this one off the hand of Lippincott this time. See Meaty Chang sort of hold the disc, try and block the sun for a moment. Players looking directly into the setting sun practically here in Oakland. Crossfield throw to Pugh. Does connect. Low throw, Stepanidis. Falcons offense.
In flow.
Mostly working. Donnie having to stoop low for that one, but back to Meaty Chang. Falcons comfortably just trying to find the open person. Chen, center of the field. Stepanidis in front of Lippincott. Reset to Chen. And timeout called from the sideline as Chen was starting to run out of options. That will be the Falcons' second and final timeout of the half, but up 13-4 with a chance to make it 14-4. Again, I think the Falcons coaching staff, led by head coach Manisha Daryani, have been making very good use of the timeout, saying, hey, if we don't want them burning in our pockets when we reach the end of the game.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. They're very strategic. They get to the 40, 35-40, and let's settle down. Let's get some fresh legs out there and punch it in. Yeah,
this sitting about 25 yards outside of the end zone. And again, with the ability to sub, you might as well rotate some players out. Your D-line has done a lot of great work getting the break chance, working at most of the length of the field, and now it's going to be onto some of your core offensive pieces to finish off the job and make it a double-digit margin.
We have Carnahan and Chen.
And Chu all involved. Han Chen, Vivian Chu. Has the Falcons set up in a vertical stack. Don't think it's something we've necessarily seen it very often from the Bay Area, but potentially a set play. A round throw. Zalk. Saltzman. Imanishi. Falcons making it work despite the heavy pressure from Arizona. Imanishi. Carnahan. Away. Maru.
Beautiful throw by Carnahan.
Money. Maru on the throw from Carnahan, and it is 14-4.
Calmly work through their progressions in red zone. Beautiful execution.
The use of the timeout just working out perfectly for the Falcons. And never over till it's over, but a 10-point margin with 8 minutes to go is certainly a big one.
So it's never over until it's over. Okay, there's no 4-point goal line here. How do you're just throwing in sayings? This is over. Put a fork in this one. This is done.
Calling for the fork on Arizona, and the loss here would mean that Arizona's season, well, not technically over, is all but over. They'd have a final home game against the Bay Area where the best they could do is play spoiler to the Falcons, potentially trying to claim the top seed in the Southwest, because with the win here, the Falcons guarantee their place at championship weekend alongside San Diego Super Blue. And again, in these big blowout wins at home, if it travels, the Falcons, I'm going to have to talk about this on the Ultra World podcast I have with Sasha Vogel, Double Overtime. Would the Falcons be favorites? We're gonna talk about it. We'll see.
If it travels, absolutely.
If it travels is the big question.
So, but the next question is, there's a power in being a spoiler. You can get up for being the spoiler. There's some payback. I'm sure Arrow wants to extract,
especially on home turf.
Yeah,
but disc off the hands of Melissa Dunn, and that's the sort of thing that has been harming Arizona's chances all game. Sidewinders just being snake bit, as the Falcons are able to make the incredible juggling grabs as McQuaid just did. Weeby near sideline, trying to find the small spaces. Lefty opts for the around to Ting. To Winslow. Underneath to Stepanidis. Falcons receivers able to get open without much issue. Big bid from Weeby. And the new mother gets the assist to Stepanidis right before Mother's Day.
Bravo.
And that's another Falcons break.
Nice.
15-4.
Lily Stepanidis with the score. Very nice. Very instrumental in stirring the drink and getting the disc downfield.
And a great bid by Weeby. Great to see her back out on the field. And very appropriate for Mother's Day.
Very much so.
Tomorrow.
Nice tie-in.
Everyone make sure to wish their mothers Happy Mother's Day tomorrow.
Hi, Mom.
Falcons cruising. About halfway to go in this final period of action. Falcons up 11. And Arizona continue to have no answers. We were talking in the first half how you need one, and they've gone one. Currently, they've gone one a quarter. Is the problem.
But that's the thing. As a coach, you're trying to find where is that one point, where's that one tell you can jump on some deficiency, but they can't. There's no faults right now.
And it's not like, to be clear, this Arizona team is not a bad team. We've seen them have big leads against good teams, play well over the course of the season. And notch a win earlier this season as well, but just not able to get it done. Their only win of the season being a Week 2 15-12 win over Utah Wild at home.
They've got players all over the WUL leaderboard. So these are no slouches, just putting it together as a team.
Their red zone conversion has been frankly rather abysmal, and it's drops like that, those miscues, the miss off the hands of Dunn on the previous point, that has just been killing the Sidewinders' chances in this game.
Well, that's a testament to Donahue too. Donahue is pressuring, making those windows. There's no comfort level.
And big layout poach block by Maggie O'Connor, still grinding, still giving it her all. I love to see that effort and energy. O'Connor, low throw to Steiner. Back to O'Connor. Center of the field, Eifert. Great patience. Over the top throw. Away. Gazelle. Oh, yeah. Big layout grab for Gazelle as Arizona notches another goal. Unfortunately, still trail by 10, 15-5.
O'Connor gets her highlight. That was a beautiful layout that jump-started that score.
And just glad to see that folks are still really trying to put in the effort, and makes sense. You wouldn't expect these players to give up, but when you have big play efforts like that with O'Connor's layout poach block, then that really tells you everything you need to know about what it still means to these Arizona players to be in this situation, to be competing at this level.
Absolutely.
Because it's not to be understated that, while yes, this is the third full season for the Western Ultimate League, it is only the third full season for the Western Ultimate League. This is still a fledgling league. It is still a league that lost 2 of its teams from last season because of issues around ownership and funding. And this is sort of the tenuous spot that women's sports can be at, is having success but also sort of riding that line. And can tell how much it means to the players out on the field to be having this opportunity at all in the first place, as Carnahan can't quite save it. But Vivian Chu earns it back for the Bay Area offense. Right in this. Maru. Carnahan past half field. Carnahan over the top. Cardenas. Yes, in. Ruled in by the observers. Carnahan over the top to Cardenas. And that is another Falcons hold. 16-5.
The Falcons don't have to be a hurry to score, but they got into flow, and when you're in flow and you see the opportunity, take your shot. That was beautiful. That was a beautiful grab. You know what I thought you were going to say? Encouraging people to donate to the Falcons. The Bay Area Falcons, to all the things you were talking about, that there's not many pro leagues. This is a women's pro league that is in a startup phase, and the Falcons are part of the community. They put on clinics. They really encourage people to join. They're not just sort of elite players coming together just for the fans at this one moment. They understand there's a continuum to be, an importance to be part of the community and bring up the next generation. So if you're interested, you can go to, you've probably seen the QR code on the stream, but you can go to the Falcons website, Falcons Ultimate, and at the bottom of the page, donate. They would definitely welcome your donation. Actually, your funding puts on streams like this for free.
And just generally, the Western Ultimate League, as a whole, every single team in the league heavily involved with their local communities, and any support that folks can offer helps make incredible performances like this and showings possible. As O'Connor trying to prove the point over the top to Garrett, not quite able to get there. And McQuaid chasing down just to ensure it. But yeah, donate if you can. Anything is appreciated to the Falcons, to the Sidewinders, to the Western Ultimate League, westernultimateleague.com. And as we saw before the game, with the showcase game that I had the great opportunity to be a part of, the Rising Stars, these teams help support high school programs, high school, middle school players as well. As an away throw from Sepanias to unguarded Winslow. Couple of unguarded players, and it's Winslow to Leahy. And it is another Bay Area goal. 17-5.
3 minutes left, and Arizona's looking at the clock going, really? 3 minutes are left?
Yeah, it's just been tough sledding for the Sidewinders. And as we talked about in previous games, we can talk about again, contributions for the Falcons up and down this roster. The only player with more than 2 goals this game, Kanari Imanishi with 3. No player with more than 2 assists. Just distributed across the roster, and maybe means that it might travel better regardless of who you have. If you're able to put on this sort of performance on the road, bottle it up, take it with you on the plane, down to Southern California, out to Arizona, and make magic happen. And boy, wouldn't it be something if the Falcons were to win out after giving up the big lead and losing in overtime in week 1 to Utah. And that would really be something heading into championship weekend, the first weekend of June. Speaking of championship weekend, as mentioned, Colorado Alpenglow already sealing their spot as a Northwest Conference representative. A big away throw. Thomas able to come back to it. Continued throw. And sealed by Arizona. That was Madison Spiegel running it down.
Is that Marty?
For Arizona. And that is another Arizona score, but at this point it's frankly going to be a little bit too late. But as I was saying, in the Northwest Conference, Colorado Alpico already stealing their spot. And in the game earlier today, Seattle Tempest had a chance to join them, but Utah winners on the road at Seattle. That means that the Colorado-Utah game will determine who will make up the 4th team at championship weekend representing the Northwest Conference. Although I think, Lawrence, in sort of contrast to previous seasons where you've sort of wanted to avoid Seattle as the top team out of the Northwest, I don't know if there's a super clear favorite. Maybe Colorado playing at home, but I think the Falcons will like their chances against whoever they draw at championship weekend.
So if you're trying to do some reverse engineering and thinking about that first loss, was altitude a contributor, as you mentioned? We're going to find out when they go to Colorado.
I do think altitude was a contributor in that Utah loss, but then again, it was week 1. Players still getting into the swing of things.
True. Very
different situation after playing a full regular season and with a couple weeks to rest and prepare ahead of championship weekend. Arizona is just able to keep it.
Oh.
Was nearly able to keep it in on the near sideline. Inside throw from Cardenas finds Carnahan. Chu. And run through block from Melissa
Get to
Dunn.
it. You better go. You're going to boost it.
Sorry, that's Marty Martinez, who's now
boom
on the away throw inbounds. Martinez to Gazelle. And timeout taken, which will allow Arizona to try and convert this opportunity, trim the margin back to 10, but as you were saying earlier, put a fork in it. It is basically over at this point. Then the time officially running out on the clock.
Yes. You said basically. You have to throw basically?
I gotta be nice.
Yes,
the game is technically not over.
This is not
yet.
being mean. It's the time is another factor in this game. Ultimate frisbee. It's very rare you have such quick throws, quick points. So I'm pleasantly surprised that the Falcons can score so cleanly and quickly. But a lot of points go long, and it's not your side. So yes, I'm going to say this is over. And as a fan of both teams, I find no joy in saying that. But this is a tough one for Arizona.
Yeah.
But to your point, just say seriously, the pride at which they're playing and continue. These are athletes that are playing with pride, and I just want to say that this is great. There's no stop here.
There is no stop until the final whistle, the final buzzer goes, and it's really just a matter of what the margin is at this point. But it's been another impressive win for the Bay Area, and again, looking ahead to next week, if they can bottle it on the road, then they're going to be a dangerous threat at championship weekend. And a run-through block.
Winslow with a great defensive block.
Winslow also not giving up on this game. Athletes continuing to show out under a minute to play. Pugh centering to Munson. Across to Chen, back to Chu. Sorry, Munson. Donahue and McQuaid. No, Winslow. Pugh up to Vic Chen. An incredible grab by Pugh. Donahue Near sideline. Resets to Pew. Vic Chen. Another big bid by Pew. Maintains possession. Time ticking away. Inside throw. Winslow. Donahue. And is that a game final?
Wow.
No, there was 1 second remaining. There is 1 second remaining, but the Falcons have an 18-6 lead.
I would love to be able to score that point to music. Just. Oh, that was beautiful. Such beautiful ultimate. Nice grabs, nice catches, nice progression. Lovely point.
Winslow with the assist to Donahue, and there will be one final possession.
Is that a Winslow bookend? You got the D and then throws the assist. Is that what type of bookend technically?
It's an
bookend-ish?
bookend,
Yeah, okay.
Not the way that people tend to use it, but yeah, there's plenty of great examples of folks getting the block and then grabbing the final assist.
Yeah.
So
I know her parents here cheering her on. They're very happy. Elsa.
So this is it, folks. The final pull will be put into play, and then Arizona will have a chance to score a final point, but that's about to do us. And the final buzzer has sounded. And Sidewinders just playing it out for pride. O'Connor, Aragon. Miscommunication, Thomas bidding for it, far sideline. Up the line, and O'Connell, Eifert, still far sideline. O'Connell, Aragon, Sidewinders moving it well, sliding grab. Not
Suji
in,
with a
though.
layout.
And a reset throw to Eifert. Inside throw, Thomas. And that was going to be the final point of the game as the Bay Area Falcons dominate, roll to another 18-point scoreline at home, this time 18-7 over the Arizona Sidewinders to clinch their place in championship weekend.
That seems to be their average, about 18 points a game. It's very interesting. I had the over and under at like 32, 33. I did not factor in that it'd be 7 points for Arizona. That said, wow. Do they go on the road with this magic? Can they get to TSA with this magic?
I think so. I think it's certainly possible.
Right.
But you have to tune in next week to the final week of action in the Western Ultimate League regular season. Again, Falcons going on the road Saturday, playing away to Arizona in the rematch, and then away at San Diego on Sunday. In the Northwest Conference, it'll be Colorado Appenglow playing away at Utah Wild for the final place at championship weekend. All right, we're going to step away for a moment, and when we come back, we're also going to have a post-game interview. And welcome back into the booth, joined by Amanda Maru. Congratulations on making it to championship weekend.
Thank you.
Another 18-point total for the final score. What was the recipe to success in this game?
Yeah, I think just coming out hot on D, just continuing to run our systems, and just continuing the pressure throughout each point. And if there's any little falter on O, coming back stronger than the next one, learning from what we did, and just pushing through. And just continue that pressure. That's our recipe.
Yeah, fair enough. Got a couple of games on the road this upcoming weekend. One question we were having in the booth, we were talking about, like, can the Falcons bottle in and take it on the road? And one question we were sort of saying is, like, what about, like, the players who are going to be available? But the distribution of stats across the board, the entire roster has been contributing. How do you think that has helped y'all heading into a potential the road matches this upcoming weekend?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it helps us, tremendously. We have such a deep roster on this team. No matter who we take, there's nothing that can stop us. We can we can continue, pushing that, D-line pressure, having that smooth offense, with any amalgamation of the people on this team. I love this team. I love playing with this team. We're so deep. This is such a deep roster, and I'm so excited for this coming weekend.
Sounds good. Any particular shout-outs real quick before we let you go at the end of the game?
Oh, man. I have to shout out, all of our, just everybody. I can't name one person. Like you said, we have such a deep roster this season, and, I couldn't be more proud of just being a part of this and just everybody on this team.
All right, well, congratulations on an undefeated showing at home, and we will good luck this upcoming weekend.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And welcome back into the booth. I'm Jenna, joined by Lawrence for Kendall. Thank you to Amanda Maru for joining me for a post-game interview. Talked about the depth of the roster, talked about bringing it on the road. What do you think? Any thoughts ahead of the final weekend of the regular season?
This is an amazing team that they have there. The depth is there, O and D. Can it translate on the road? Can it translate in altitude? Look, if I'm the coach, I'm eager to find out because I like up and down. I like what the numbers look like. I like the attitude of the team. I've seen it at practices. They play up, very positive. So I'm just saying, let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens, but the Falcons will have a chance to play, well, at least I think there's guaranteed 2 games of championship weekend, so 4 games left for the Bay Area Falcons tonight. Big 18-7 winners at home. Thank you for joining us for the final broadcast from Fremont High School in North California for the Falcons' final home game of the season. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, by the way, it's been a pleasure.
Been a pleasure,
Absolutely.
as always. And we hope you enjoy the action for the final weekend of the regular season and championship weekend to round out this 2024 Western Ultimate League season. Thank you for joining us once again. I've been Jenna Reiner. He's been Lawrence for Kendall. Have a good night, y'all.